Hi, I am KB with Nerdophiles. How are you?
I'm good, KB. How you doing?
I am doing well. Listen, Paul goes on a totally wild journey.
Yes,
And
yes,
obviously, I have to talk about your big episode and how
yes.
he kind of flips the switch on this thin veil between kind of life and death and perceived realities.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you first read episode one, where Paul kind of dies in that version of Joe's story, I'll say, versus
Yes.
what happens to him in episode six, what did you think? And how much collaboration did you have with Peter about how Paul's journey would like play out in parallel to Joe's?
You want the truth or you want the educated answer?
I want the truth.
Okay, so you want the truth. The truth is I arrived in Berlin and I only had the sides. I didn't have any episodes.
Ooh, okay.
I sat at the table in the Soho House with Peter and Joseph Cedar, who is directing episode six, and Michelle, who's the executive and director and lead of our show. And they asked me, have you read 106? What do you think? They're all excited. And I'm just looking at them. No, I haven't read anything. So then the conversation went, well, you came all the way over here on faith, not knowing that you were going to survive. I said, well, I figured you guys wouldn't spend all the money to bring me this far for me not to survive. But that is the truth. But episode six, it was a dream come true to be able to use my gifts and talents and then to be under the tutelage of Joseph Cedar. And I did not talk to Peter much about the role. And he didn't give me any like, okay, I think this is it, or I think you should do this. It was more like, here it is. I believe it's all on the page, and I trust you to go and explore and figure it out. And every time I would have a question to Peter about something, he'd go, you'll find it. And I love that because he gives the artist space to exist. And I'm glad you're very, very intelligent and smart to pick up on Joe's side of the story. And then now it's Paul's side of the story. And I love the way the viewer goes on a journey with that.
Yeah, because for sure, I mean, I got to the end. I have seen the full series and I was like, now wait a minute.
Uh-huh,
What
uh-huh.
is happening? Because there are
Yes.
so many different perceived, I'm going to put it in quotes, truths that are
Yeah.
happening for each of them. But woo, I can't wait for people to see who truly is, kind of the puppet master, I guess is the best way. The
Yeah.
best.
And then there's a moment in 106 as you brought up that I'm remembering because I haven't seen the cut, but I remember I'm in the Soyuz and I'm looking out of the window and I don't know, am I seeing what I thought I saw? Is it real? What is going on? And now I cannot get that image out of my mind when I return home. And so many times in life, us on the human experience and the human journey, something traumatic happens and we haven't been able to let go of that. And I think Peter is laying the foundation for us to look at those things that we have locked away and how do we deal with it in order to release it. So it's a series also about loss, regret, grief, and how do you move on? Joe comes back home. Obviously, the family hasn't been together before she left. And now there's a fracture in the family even more when she comes home because she's still lost in space, although she's present on Earth. So these are the conversations that we get to speak about. I always say that it's not a show that you're watching as a viewer, you're actually viewing yourself. You're going on an inward journey while you're watching Constellation.
Oh, I love that you said that because it does bring me to my next question. There is so much empathy that you
Yes.
have to have for these characters as viewers, just because you realize that their journeys are not easy and it takes a lot to kind of unpack not only the multitudes and layers of the work that they're doing, but also the magnitude of the personal sacrifices. To your point, their families are both fractured, not just Joe's, but so is Paul's.
Yeah.
So can you share a little bit about how stepping into Paul's shoes, what that taught you about having more empathy in your own life?
Very good question. It taught me to one, be patient with yourself, and everything is temporary. Life is but a flicker. We here today, we're gone tomorrow. So a lot of the things that we're worried about, why worry about them when life is so temporary, it's so fragile. And going through that journey with Paul, it lets me know you never know. You're working on something that you're really excited about, then something happened and it sends you on a whole nother journey. Well, that's life. Life is not a straight line. Life is like this. And so we also have to learn how to flow with life. we also have to learn how to dictate what we want out of life. So it's all those things, kind of running on the same train line, so to speak.
I love that. Well, listen, I can't wait for everyone to see 106 and also to see this finale. I am hoping for a renewal because I need to know. I need to know what's going to happen with Paul. I need to know. And then I also need to know this Frida Erica situation. Like, I need to know that too.
Oh yes, yeah, 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 yeah,
I need
yeah,
to know.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. Well, you know what? We appreciate you, KB. Keep telling the people about it, and we're
Yeah,
excited that we're #1 on Apple. We're excited that people are now, really getting on the journey, and it's excited to share the work as well.
absolutely. And I'm looking forward to that season 2 announcement. Listen, I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
go ahead
yeah.
and
Come on,
wait.
me too.
Okay.
I would love, there's more left in me, and there's more untold in Paul's story, and I'm sure Peter is already working away.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking time to chat with Nerdophiles. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you too.